So today we're testing out 2 golf products that are also 1 golf product. Try get your head around that. So this is the ShotScope H4 handheld, and here I've got the ShotScope Pro LX laser, 2 separate things. But if you take these apart, you can actually put them together and create the ShotScope Pro LX Plus. So this is a laser with full GPS capability, which is really cool. When I looked at this, I was like, why has no one done this before? It just seems so obvious. What I like about this is that it offers something different to the ShotScope watch we see. So for people who might not like wearing a watch, you can use this to do all that shot tracking out on the golf course. So it can collect all your stats. If you're then just playing for fun and don't want to collect your stats, you can just clip it on here and use it to get all your yardages. Today I'm going to show you how to collect stats with this. So I'm going to put this on this nifty little clip and pop it on my belt and show you how it's done. So what we need to do is pick what golf course we're playing so we get all those GPS functions. If we unlock this, we can tell it we're going to go play golf, and then we can choose between a few options. Do we want just GPS? Do we want to do GPS and track? Or do we even just want to track? So say you were playing in a competition where you weren't allowed to use GPS, I could still track my stats but without the GPS functioning, so that's pretty useful too. Now how this works is, because it's clipped on your belt, it knows where you are and where you're hitting each shot from. And then every club in my bag, I've put these little tags in the bottom, so it can pick up on what club I'm hitting and almost puts a little tag down on a map where you've hit it from, and it can then see if that's from the fairway, from the rough, from a bunker, how far you've hit it, where you've hit your next shot to. There are 3 different 9s here, so you can get configurations, so you would just click through on the bottom to get the right one. We're starting from the first, so that makes things easy. So once you've done that, that's it and you're ready to go. You can use the main screen here, so it'll tell me how far the hole is. I can see it's 426 to the middle, so it's going to take a few decent shots to get there. I can also click on here and get how far it is to the hazards. From here, I can see it's like 267 to bunkers, there's water at 235, so it's actually telling me here if I want to lay up to those hazards, I can just hit it 200 and take everything out, so that's a pretty nifty feature. I've not seen that before. Look, it gives you like a little green writing telling you what to do. It's very smart. New glove day. How good is a fresh glove though? Pretty decent. Definitely missed the fairway though. Now what I really like about like all the ShotScope products is it takes away the thought process of you having to track any stats, because it can be a bit distracting when you're playing, like feeling like you have to write down, I've hit X amount of greens, or I've hit my shot to 15 foot, or my putt missed low, or whatever. With this, like, you don't have to do anything. It's really just collecting all the data for you, so you can just get on, concentrate on your golf, and keep playing your game, which I think is really important. I especially see it with some of the England girls I coach. They can get so distracted trying to remember all the stats and make sure they've written it down perfectly, that it actually impacts their performance quite negatively. So having something like this, which is so passive, you don't need to do anything with it, and especially on this belt system where it's not even on your wrist, so you can't even really feel it. It's just a really good way of getting objective data, and also data that's correct, because how often do we walk up to a putt and think, oh, yeah, it's about 6 foot, and then you pace it out and you're completely wrong on the distance. With ShotScope, like, the numbers can't lie. It knows where you've hit every shot from. 206 to the middle of the green, 192 to the front. It's uphill, it's a long way away. I'm not even going to use my laser, like I just need a general look, and I think that's where it helps, because it actually makes it quite quick. You just think, oh, right, 3 hybrid. Probably won't hit this in the tournament, but let's see how it goes. It wasn't that bad. I didn't make the green. I mean, it was left the whole time. Now this is the kind of place where I'd start using laser, because I want a bit more precision. I really love this. One, it's really light. My bag's already so heavy. I don't need any extra weight in it. Also, I love the fact that you can use slope on this, so it's really simple. You literally just click this on or off. You can't use slope in competitions, but you can use it when you're practicing. So if there's really hilly holes on your course, it's worth putting the slope thing on and seeing how different the hole plays based on the elevation, because there's some shots at my course where it plays like 25 yards less just because of how slopey it is, so knowing that can really help you out in competitions. Oh, that was nice. Get in. I don't know if you'll be able to see on camera how slopey this green is. Like what, this is only 6 foot, but I mean, it's gonna move a lot. Oh. This is the only part of the process where you actually need to do anything. So once you've holed out, literally just pick this up. On it, it has different options. So you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, and you just need to tell it how many puts you've had. So it makes sure that it's not picking up like extra practice strokes and things. So you just hold it over the hole, or keep it on your belt over the hole and press next to the 2, because I've had 2 puts, and then it's done. It's recorded all your stats for the hole. Can't believe that missed. Raging. I think this is going to be like a perfect example for slope, because the tee's raised up and then the green's like so much lower. So I'm going to get the distance without slope and then with slope and see how different it is, just to show you like what you could be missing out in terms of not knowing that. So from here, the total yardage is 130. Now if I pop slope on, this is telling me that's playing like 2 degrees downhill, so it's actually going to be playing much closer to 125. Now that would be even more extreme if we went up to like this tee box, because obviously there's more height difference. So here we're up at 3 degrees, so it's playing nearly at 120. So that's 10 yards difference. That's basically a different club. So you could be getting your distances wrong on holes without even realising, just because you're not measuring slope. Or because your cameraman's fallen over. Let's have a go, see how I get on. Looks good, has it got the legs? Oh, oh no, it's running back off the front slope. One really cool thing about ShotScope is not only do they offer you insights, they have data from like thousands of golfers worldwide, so they can give you a good idea of what mistakes people are consistently making wrong. And I've just committed the cardinal sin of not using enough club. Most golfers don't know how far their clubs go and they're not hitting enough club on shots, and it's costing them because they end up short of the green. So using something like this, it's really easy to see how far each club goes, which is going to really help you out in terms of strategy. I guess I get to practice my chipping again. Now what's actually quite good about this is it can kind of give you a focus in practice, because you can track your stats whenever you want. So for me, I'm thinking, well, I don't just want to mess around because it's going to mess my stats up. So it almost gives you like that level of concentration, the ability to practice better if you use this when you're just out for a knock on the course. I missed the last one. So surely by logic, this one's going to go in. Told you. So this hole's really interesting because it's like quite a steep dogleg, left to right, and there aren't actually any hazards on the corner. So typically with a GPS lag, there wouldn't be anything to pick up, like where to hit, but this is actually giving you kind of 2 options. So 2 different layup zones based on like how far up you want to hit it to then have the distance in. So this is telling me here if I want to lay up 200 yards from the green, I only need to hit it 86 yards. It's quite a short hole. If I want to lay up 150 yards from the green, I only need to hit it 152 yards. So I think stood on the tee, that's quite confident thinking. I don't actually have to take that much on here, because even if I hit a fairly short shot, I'm gonna have not that long in. I actually never know what to hit on this hole, like that is so helpful. Can't even tell you how many times I've gone straight through this fairway or blocked it right into the tree because I've been trying to hit it so far up the hole. It's into the wind, so I've ended up with a little bit further than I would have done otherwise. But it's still only 140 to the middle, 125 to the front. Do not want to miss this green. I think I need more club. Sorry, slow play. No, I'm joking. There's no one behind us. Is it gonna cling on to the right side? That was such a minging bounce. At least it's an uphill bunk shot. It's got that going for me. It's really easy to pick up trends though, because in the app you can just look and see like, am I missing left, right, short, long? And then over time you can adjust for that. Pretty good though. Left myself a lovely, fast downhiller though for par. That was so quick. The 1 putt streak lives on. You know, everyone says York is flat. There's actually quite a lot of elevation change here at Moulton and Norton. The sprinklers are in the way. We'll be back in a minute.
A few moments later.
This is 142 playing 135, so like solid nearly 10 yards difference. It's downwind, so I might actually reach the pin this time. Come on, take that right to left slope. Be nice to me. Now I've gone long. I've done a really bad job of missing the greens in the right spot today. This is literally on a slope like this. Luckily they've just watered the greens, so maybe be a bit slower. Oh, I've pitched it way too far. Bye-bye. Go! 1 putt streak has ended. 270 par 4. Could be a good birdie chance. There's a bunker at, well, 227 to the front of it, 235 to the back of it. It's a solid hit if we want to get over that. Did some speed training last week, see if we can get over it. It's a bit right of it, to be honest. I just remembered how hard the chip is from that side of the green there. Literally like this. Now hopefully you can see from like playing a few holes just how easy this is to use. I think that's such a big thing about people just don't collect stats because it's a bit of a pain in the ass. And like with this it's just not. It's so simple, you don't even have to think about it. Easier than getting my driver in this bag. I can't finish this without making a birdie. I mean, it's 21 yards to the front of the green. This probably looks dead flat on the camera, it's not. What's quite good is over time you could, say this was your home course, you could play this numerous times, hit and drive around here and see what your scoring average is. Hit irons or woods to lay up to the bunker, see what your scoring average is, and see what strategy is actually better. This is either going to go well or make me look like an idiot. Come on. You seeing how quick that is? Oh, that was perfect. Still gone 6 foot past. Let's try finish in style. Yes. She loves it. Now, once you finish your round, it's really easy to look at your stats. You can do it there and then on the ShotScope app, which is the easiest way to sync in my opinion. Or you can use it on desktop if you feel like it's a bit easier to see and a bit easier to use, which sometimes it can be. So I'm just gonna go and get my phone and then I'll show you. So all I'm gonna do on the actual H4 is hit that top left button, click through, and then tell it I've ended my round. It is quite good to point out here, you can add like penalty shots and stuff in here. So end round, open up the app, and then we're just going to sync the two together. So it's going to take the data from here and it's collected from my tags straight into the app. So once that's loaded, I can just go ahead and click sync rounds that you can see on the top here, and it's going to pull all that data that's just collected on the course. I mean, it's really quick. Now, obviously I haven't played a full 18 holes there. So what I'm going to do is I've just logged back into my watch account and I'm going to show you how you would edit a full round, what it looks like when it comes into the app, and then show you like more of my stats on here because I've got a lot more tournament rounds in here, so it's going to be more reflective of what the data would look like when you've built up like a good amount of stats, because obviously once you've only put one round in, the data is not as accurate because it's really just showing what you were like on that day. The more data you get in, the more accurate it is in terms of trends and your overall golf game. So once you've loaded a round, it just pops in like this. So my last round in here was on the old course, St Andrews. That's nice, isn't it? And it'll come up with this orange like pen, so that shows you that it's ready to be edited. So you just need to go in and check everything's correct. So it comes up with your scorecard, it shows you what you've had on each hole, because there can be odd anomalies. Like sometimes if, say, I have a practice swing with my 8-iron and then I decide I'm going to hit a 7 and I go and swap it, it might get confused and think I've hit a shot with both. So you can just really go in and be like, oh, that wasn't a shot, and delete it. You get a map of the course and you can really see how you've played the hole. So you can see, for me, it's quite good because it's quite an iconic hole, so it makes more sense. You know, I've hit driver down the middle of the fairway, and then I've had 100 yards in with a lob wedge. Ever a circumstance where you've forgotten to click on the button and tell it where the pin is, you can actually go back in and just drag the pin location to the right place for that day. So don't panic if you forget to do that. There is other ways around that. So really here you can just click through each hole, and generally all I'm having to do with this is, if I've had a penalty shot, I'll press and add it in, because I don't tend to do that on the actual device. I just like to do it afterwards, and I don't have to kind of worry about it on the course. So a big thing here is like changing the tees, because that relates to what par. So generally I'll have to change it quite a lot because I'm playing tournaments where we play off mixed tees and then they've changed the pars. Here I would go ahead and just tell it which tees I've played off. So for women in the tournament I played at, which was the sump rule, like the seconds are par 5. So I'd need to click to that and make sure that the par goes up to a 5. So you just click through, make sure you're happy with each hole, and then once you get to the end you can just sign that round off. So be like, yeah, I'm good, save, exit. So next, if we click here and then actually go into the performance section of the app, you can see there's all these different categories. So you can see specifically in different areas what you're doing well. So I'm missing 10% right, 9% left. So to be honest, that's not too much of a bias, but you can see nearly a third of my shots are coming up short. So I really need to work on taking longer clubs and getting further up the green, because that's probably costing me a lot of shots. Now you can see here this is benchmarked against a tour player, but you can change this. So say you're a 15 handicap and you have aspirations of getting to a 10 handicap, you can really click into that section and see what people of 10 handicaps are doing compared to you, and kind of where you're losing or gaining shots, and it can really give you great insight into what you actually need to work on them. So not only do you get these little really nice visual insights, but you can also get strokes gained, which is obviously massive now in terms of comparing different shots to different categories of golfers. If you don't know what strokes gained is, go to the National Club Golf website, because I've just done a great article on it. So you can go through all of these sections and get a huge amount of information on all aspects of your game, which you can use to help inform your practice, but also to show maybe your coach or someone you're having golf lessons with, and see what you can do to technically work on those areas. A big thing I love about this is it gives you your distances you're hitting your clubs. So it gives you an average, so that's literally just the average of how far you've hit the clubs. Then it gives you a P average, so performance average, so it kind of takes out the extremes of like, have you hit a punch shot chip out with an iron? Well, it's clearly not the full shot that goes. Or have you hit a driver that was really downwind and it's gone an extra 100 yards? So P average is something that's really good for you to work on in terms of helping you pick your clubs and your yardage shots on the course and making sure you've got the right distances. So you get, every time you play, you get little medals for what you've achieved. So like, have you hit your longest drive ever? So you can look like 250, 275, 300. You don't really need it, but it's just quite a nice little boost, like, oh, I achieved something. Now, I'm not gonna go through every stat on here with you, because we would literally be here forever and my cameraman might fall asleep. But I just want to talk about the fact that I didn't think I would ever move out of the ShotScope V3. Like, I've loved using that product so much. I found it so easy to track. But I think this is really up there. It's almost like it keeps it out of your mind even more, that you're tracking stats. You don't worry about it. It is still really easy to see the data. You can literally just pick it up and have a look at it. And I love the fact that you can just use this separately on your GPS. When you're playing for fun, you can see like front, middle, back of the green, which is great for kind of blind shots, or if you don't really just feel like being that precise and laser in the pin. So I'm super surprised just how much I've loved using this.